What's up, collector fam? It's your boy Tony Rat, back with another big special review. You already see what's spinning in front of me. TMNT is on the docket. It's Michelangelo. I've been waiting to complete the set, and I finally can. You guys get to watch me open them up. Let's do that now. Badoo! Cowabunga! Right, it's time to open this thing up. I gave you a full cowabunga before I grabbed the knife, and then I had to cut the video. I had to fix my do-rag. You know, I do this for you guys. You can't have me wrinkles in the forehead, and no one's gonna tell me anything, so I had to redo it. I'm just being silly right now, but it's true. I did have to redo the video. Now, I have been looking forward to opening up Michelangelo for a while. Why? Because I have his brothers already sitting in here. Raphael and Leonardo are already on the shelf. So, I've been missing Donatello and Michelangelo. I have had no looks. It's like I don't like watching the trailers anymore before watching the movies because we get too much information. So I have not been looking at what this was as it finished up as a statue. So that's just what it is, people. Now I'm looking at the backs for those of you who are box collectors. I'm sure you can see that. There's a brief outline of the city in the box. Of course, it has a synopsis of Michelangelo on the back. You guys were able to see that real quick. But in the end, you already know who Michelangelo is, so just make sure you're recycling. Okay, moving that along, we're going to pop off. Oh my goodness, we're sliding things all over the place. We're going to pop off the tape over here. Yes, boy! Alright, so these days I just pop off the two and then I do this. Voila! Because they stay together. In case you want to keep these for some reason. Me, I just cycle them. And now you get to see me put on my glasses so we can look at them and analyze together. Whew! First looks, everybody. Michelangelo from Diamond Select Toys. I don't want to start talking about him right now, but this is what we got. This is what we are looking at. And I was already pretty hyped up about the other two in this series. And I'm super hyped up to bring them into the fold and let you guys see. But for right now, you know what we do. We sit them down right here and we do a full body spin. This is Michelangelo. Let's spin them up. I will admit I have a weak spinner right now, so even though it's fully charged up, it did not want to help me by spinning these guys on their own. So I've got to stand back behind here and show you what they look like. Now what you don't see, I will show you guys during the full review, which is the intricacy of the building from the top point of view, staring down. What I did here was basically piece the diorama together. So this is how much space you're going to need if you're getting the entire set of 4 collectors, man. And this, come on, man, if you're a Mutant Ninja Turtles fan and you don't like what I'm showing you right now, you got something problems with you. Okay, so this is pretty cool. We're gonna take these guys off. I just wanted to spin them up together so you can see the Michelangelo with the skateboard, and we'll stop and we'll talk about him directly and take the other guys and put them back for now. All right, collector fam, we're back. It's time to talk about our Michelangelo in detail. First thing to mention, I keep the measuring tape up to remind myself to tell you guys he's 10 inches tall. So that's probably from the tip of the bandana that's fluttering out to where you see the bottom of the diorama hit, which the brick part hits the turntable here, okay? So that's exactly what you got on this one. Additionally, I want to say, because it's part of the block, he's about 4.5 inches square. 4.5 inches by 5. Plus or minus, this is square, and then he juts out a little further than that, so he's got about 9 inches of clearance all the way around him. All right, that's the housekeeping out of the way. Now let's talk about the specifics of this particular diorama, which, I mean, again, I'm a huge Ninja Turtles fan. I was there from the beginning, which makes me really old. But I'm going to talk about the things about the statue that I really like. So they hit a lot of detail level here, and you guys are going to have to agree. So as I look around, I'm going to try and share them around the multiple cameras I've got going on here right now. But essentially what you'll see is the wraps around his legs. And that's what I'm pointing out, that they go like so far as to go down the knuckle of one of his feet. If you can see that there, the knuckle comes down. And they don't spare any expense to detail. So essentially, the perforations that follow those little holes that you would see in sort of an ace bandage follow from basically down just below the shin bone here where it sets up to, it breaks a little bit, but then it comes back up over the bottom of his foot. So obviously for tension, you can see this is his skateboarding foot. So, I mean, ultimately, that's just super cool in the detail level, and they got that on both of the feet here, guys. Both of the feet. So I'm going to turn it up this way so that you guys get a really quick look of what this thing looks like from top view. Basically, he is on a roof just like the other two in this diorama set right now. This one's a little bit more interesting in that he's pushing off a sideways chimney, this area right here. So I'm from New York, and I've been on a lot of rooftops. I've never seen a chimney look like that. But this is the fictitious world of Mutant Ninja Turtles, so we're going to let it go. Maybe he kicked it over. The smokestack he kicked over. That's what we're going to say. He kicked it over with the force of his attempted kickflip, which he's in the middle of doing. And I want to talk about that next. There's a skateboard is Michelangelo all day long. Everybody who's a Mutant Ninja Turtle fan understands that there's two things you get with Michelangelo. Three, excuse me. There's going to be the jokes, which are usually not very good. There's going to be the pizza, which you know he always wants to stuff his face with. And there's going to be the skateboard. And that, of course, doesn't... Let's not talk about the weapon. We know about the weapon already. Now, on the skateboard side of things, one of the reasons that I like it is it's so realistic. I'm going to point out where the wheels are on the base, how they did a fantastic job with the bolt patterns. I mean, I used to ride skateboard just a little bit. I had some friends who could do some pretty cool things, some ollies, some kick flips, and, you know, those kinds of things, power slides when we were younger. And so it reminds me back to the day when we could ride skateboards down the street. And that was back in New York City. So, yeah, I guess you're going to say I'm mad old. The other thing I like about the skateboard is it's not a lot, but there is a little bit of texture here. So on a skateboard, you know, if you don't have texture, you're sliding all over the place. So you want a textured, gripped skateboard for your foot. And it has a little bit of that texture here. And on the back side, it's smooth, which is exactly you would expect from a skateboard. So I thought that was something detail-wise that they hit. Now, he's in mid-jump. He's in action pose. He's kicking off. Obviously, like we said, he's pushing off this base chimney here. And you can see the action set because the kick flip is in mid-motion. He's about to land on the board as he jumps off. And he's at the top of a roof, so goodness knows where he's jumping off to. But he's jumping off, so he's in mid-scene. That also gives you the reason we have the nunchaku, which he is holding in each one of the hands in mid-turn. So I think maybe that can be done a little bit more dynamically. They look a little limp for the pose that he's in. You guys can tell me what you think. Just slightly limper than they should be. Maybe they should be a little whipped back right now because you feel like he's jumping out and into motion. But I can forgive that because they still look really cool. They did an excellent job of the detail on the nunchaku. They put some rope around where the handles would be. Guys who've owned pairs of weapons like this for very long times often do things like this to make sure they have maximum grip level. And this particular one isn't rope, this is chains. So you can see it's metal pieces here. These pieces of metal that go all the way around as chains. I've never been a fan of that. I'm a big ropes fan myself. I do have a pair in here somewhere. I think it's back here. Back over here in the corner. That's probably older than I am. So, rounding out the Michelangelo statue and the things that are detailed about him. Again, one more time, they nailed the shell. You guys take a look at that. They put an awful lot of detail into the shell of the turtle here. Then he's got his, you know, super utility style belt that goes all the way around. There's nothing flexible about that belt. The belt, even down to the pouch down here in the front, where it has the M for Michelangelo, just in case you don't know who the guy in the orange bandana is. I should have worn my orange bandana. That's a fail. You guys are right. You're right. I failed. I don't know why. Someone should have mentioned that before I started filming. Would it be bad if I went and edited it out and put more of me with the red? Nah, never mind. Okay. So we tackled the way he looks with the nunchaku. We tackled the action pose that he's in. One of the things that we haven't tackled yet is the portrait. And again, I'm always saying portrait, 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 portrait. If it doesn't look like the character, there's no point in me buying this thing. Obviously, it's every day, all day Michelangelo. it's not that hard to get Michelangelo. If you figure out, you just got to put, he's got to be the one in the orange bandana. But characteristically, they nailed what he's supposed to be. He's got a bigger smile on his face than the other two statues do combined. So they each have like a portion of their teeth showing. He's got his entire mouth full of teeth showing. And on top of that, he's got this sort of cool crinkled up forehead thing going on, if you guys can see that. So it's almost like I have the chuckles going on, the insidious laughter is happening right now, and it gives a little bit more character validity to Michelangelo as opposed to the other two, who do have some minor facial expressions as well, but nothing so clear as this sort of forehead crinkle up motion that he has here in the middle. So for those reasons, I really, really love this statue. I really do. Again, if I wish I could change anything, my curiosity is about, him pole vaulting off the side of a chimney on the top of a roof. I'll let that one go and just say it's just the force of his kick, and then maybe the ferocity at which the nunchaku are being shown is probably a little underwhelming for me. But everything else I feel like they got right. Fantastic musculature, fantastic detail on the shell. Again, the face and the portrait are pretty awesome. Anywhere his body is wrapped, whether it's with the elbow guards or the knee guards, they're really, you can see all the flexibility and all of the lines of the leather that go around each of the places. And then if you look on the leg, I haven't even mentioned that. That's really cool. If you look on the leg, so the more I look, the more detail I find. They basically put scales. They put scales in right along the side of the legs here. So, I mean, again, attention to detail. If you're looking at the top of the concrete of the roof, you're going to see a lot of pitting where the concrete has been cracked over time. It's obviously an older roof, and there's a lot of detail put into it that way. So, all in all, man, this is a 3-cheese statue for me. I can't wait to display them with the other 3, and then, obviously, the other 4. So, I'm going to probably be unboxing the next one back to back. This is Tony the Toy Rat, Diamond Select Toys, Mutant Ninja Turtle, Michelangelo, kick flipping his way into your diorama hearts. And I'm out.